All right. Check. 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 Check 1. Check 2. Check 3. Welcome to the Cannabis Coffee Hour. I'm your host, Rob Cantrell. Oh yeah, can't you tell? This is episode 254. Look at this, just opened a mystical door. Sonic waves out into the universe. I'm drinking coffee. No, I'm not. I'm drinking kombucha. Yeah, that's what I got. Pink Lady Apple. What you think about that? Not a Snapple, just a drink. Health aid. Yeah, go suck it, hater. I'll see you later. But do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Yeah, I'll tell you something. We're doing a podcast. I'm gonna make it last for about 45 minutes or so. As long as I got the flow, I might as well let you know. I got all kinds of stand-up shows. Supposed to fly to Nashville tomorrow, but I'm not. I'm probably staying here. It's been snowing. See you next year. Here I go, no fear, into the atmosphere. That's a rapper from the Midwest. He's really good, I must confess, but I'm not him. I'm not Slim. I'm not them. I'm not you. I'm not me. I'm just here drinking tea. I mean kombucha. Flying round the universe. Let's see who catches on first. This is the best podcast in the cannabis coffee space. Comedy, music, prerogative. Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston, forever. I'm liking this space beat, man. I just opened the podcast. I had to get one out. I got some traveling coming up. I had an audition. I'm scrambling into 2024 with episode 254. Oh yeah, I adore doing this podcast every week. I try to make it unique, something new, something out of the blue, something that you might have knew about. Fucking around with my beat machine. Alright, let's see. Took the bass off. Let's try to make it like a dub beat. Whoa. I don't know if I could do it. I would have to bring down the tempo, I guess. I could do that. I could bring down the tempo. We're at 84. Hey, pull over. I got to slow you down. Yeah. Yeah, man. Drinking kombucha. Every day. Having a coffee. Yeah, I already had one full-on full on Chemex. Let's take the claps off. Claps are cool, but maybe not. Oh. There we go. I brought the bass back. It needs a little more swing to the beat. It's like you're in a porch swing. Don't you love porch swings? That's it. People don't have times for porch swings as much as they used to. Houses, they don't build them like that. Or maybe they do. It just seems like everybody's moving so fast. But I hope we get to a point where we're slowing down a little bit. It's cold, man. It's really cold. Been walking around. Hats and gloves, mandatory. But it's so satisfying when I have both my hat and glove. And then it's so off when I'm off. But I'm trying to let go of the perfection. But you also got to be mindful. It's so tricky. I was off my meditation. Meditation is my medication. I would say that in cannabis, kombucha, air. Air is my medication. So is food. Air, food, water, cannabis, and kombucha. Broccoli. I'm gonna do, I got some baked potatoes. I was gonna make a baked potato tonight, and I got some really good broccoli. I'm excited about that. Stay inside. Hunker down. But I'm supposed to perform at this thing, and I do have to give a big shout out to Todd Modesay and the UGG crew. I did a show this past weekend. Bring that down. I'll bring the beats back. You know, I mean, this is the Cannabis Coffee Hour. This is pretty much what it is. You know, I try to come on weekly. Now I'm loving doing the audio versions, mostly because of the YouTube page. Check out the YouTube page. But the audio versions come out in these cool AV files that are, they look like cassettes. So I'm really happy with it. Designed it myself, putting it out there. I think it's a little bit more unique than everybody else's, and it looks cool when it's all lined up. You know, a lot of, like, what's happening with, you know, lately I've been saying, like, I just think there is, like, this type of creative consciousness that is coming out. Whoa. That's some beat machines. Speaking of, I kind of like the beat. I don't know. Keeps my pace. Like I've said, like I do think there's like with all these podcasts and all the technology moving fast, and kind of like how businesses, and especially in the entertainment business, how things are shaping up. You know, I still think there is like traditional jobs, but I do think that things are shrinking in a lot of weird ways, but also growing. I don't know, but I do think having a podcast is something that I could do that maintains, you know, just a sense of relevance in terms of, you know, announcing shows. I'm excited about this one-man show that I'm doing at Young Ethel's, February 20th. I've never done like a proper one-man show. And coming out of the pandemic, you know, right before 2019, I released my second stand-up audio album with 800 Pound Gorilla. And it was doing well, but then the pandemic hit. And then there was this, like, my record label got in a dispute with Spotify over royalties. I mean, they're on the right side. We're demanding, I guess what it is like the speech royalty is much higher than a music royalty. And they were paying out comedians on a music royalty. So they kind of got caught, all these laws are changing. So now, long of the short of it, the album got squeezed and it's no longer playing on Spotify. Now, I have a music album that I love that's up there. It has the Coffee and Weed song that I did in 2007. Shout out Arj Barker. Shout out Adam Dubin. The director, Adam Dubin, who also directed No Sleep Till Brooklyn, one of my favorite videos. As well as Metallica's Nothing Else Matters. I'm going to his birthday. It's coming up. But shout out to the Dubins. But yeah, so yeah, but I have these music videos that are up there. And I have a music album, but my stand-up album got taken out. So I haven't been, like, stand-up is still kind of like, I'm trying to figure it out again. I did about 2.5 years or, almost, about 2 years with touring with Tracy Morgan. Maybe a little bit longer than that. And then I was headlining before that and during that and always doing spots in the city. I mean, that's pretty much been my basis, has always been spots in the city. My career. I started in San Francisco in 1999. Shout out Cobb's Comedy Club, the Punchline Comedy Club. But shout out the Mock Cafe, which was like this theater that was down there. That's where I really did start. That in the and then there was this laundromat that had stand-up comedy, and it was also a coffee shop, Brainwash Cafe. And Thursday night, that was the first time I was really on the microphone, which is always funny. But Louis Katz did it. Ali Wong did it. Like, everybody did it. It was just one of the gigs. Shout out all my San Francisco buddies. R.I.P. Dan Crawford. R.I.P. Mac Dre. That's a good the Bay Area hip hop is hip hop hip hop has always been a trip. That's where Tupac came from. But he was originally like from Baltimore. It sounds like he was like a little bit all over the place. But when he first started rapping, he was a backup dancer for the Digital Underground. And if you don't know the Digital Underground, get out of the fucking podcast. Turn your thing off. The Humpty Dance, which was the funkiest of funky. Is this too slow? Might be. We just started talking about a little bit about the Digital Underground. I had to bring the beat up to about 76. That's a good tempo, though. Yeah, the Digital Underground, the Humpty Dance. Yeah, San Francisco. Yeah, I did it. I did do an album at the Punchline, stand-up album. That was awesome. It's just a cold New York day. I got the heater on. I'm drinking Pink Lady apple kombucha. Did a crazy freestyle, and now I'm kind of playing with the beats a little bit. Had to bring the tempo up a little bit. I was a little bit. I kind of lost my train of thought there, everybody. I'm a day early because I'm trying to fly, and like I said, I have been, but I'm having fun on this podcast. I'm not saying I'm not giving it my all. And it's not like I have a list of things I want to talk about. One of them is the classification of cannabis. Going from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3, which is exactly what we need. It's like they act like it's heroin. I don't know. It's just a wild thing right now. And I do know, like I did read up on it. So it's mostly the FDA taking it off this like illicit list and putting it on more of it's still regulated, but more of a realistic list of like the threat. Let's see. But I did read up on it, and it's, I just think everything's going that way. I'm just so glad that New York has legalized and the dispensaries are becoming more and more viable. I've been doing shows in Manhattan more and doing spots around town. Let me bring that bass back. Been doing spots around town and just working the material out, and I'm excited to do this show at Young Ethel's. Yeah, I just always started, I guess that's where came back, I found where I was. I always started with sets in the city. When I started in 1999 doing stand-up comedy, I did shows at the Mock Cafe. Shout out Mike Spiegelman. Shout out Harmon Leon. Shout out Arch Barker. Shout out W. Kamau Bell. Al Madrigal. All these guys used to do this spot in the Mission. Even back then, the scene was so big that there was like the city, like mainstream comedians, and then down in the Mission, which was like the Lower East Side, I would say, of San Francisco. That's where, I got probably the bulk of my stage time when I started. And one of those places was at a coffee shop called the Laundromat Coffee Shop. There was the One World Cafe. That was a big one, too. They had a good stage. But I don't want to dwell on the past too much. I don't know how I got on all that. I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about 2024. I'm excited about doing this podcast more and more, getting out there, getting more comfortable with making music, making friends, editing the videos, sculpting the brand. I just always wanted it to be a positive, cool, chill vibe. That I wouldn't bum out too bad about, it just doing something weekly. You got to enjoy it. And it is kind of, everybody, I got to pat myself on the back a little bit, but I've done this for 254 episodes in a row. And I've had a couple people that have stepped in and helped. And shout out to all of them, but I would say the most of it I've done it all. But that's how it is, I think, like going forward with this creative stuff. But I have been auditioning, I have been doing mainstream stuff and, hopefully, selling the script that I'm working on. And do it, and definitely trying to get, anytime you can get paid for your art on a super professional level, it's just like, that's gold. But then there's the levels of, experimenting and working with the subject. And that's what the podcast is. So I just want to say thanks for being patient, everybody. Letting me do all these weird beats and staying on board. I'm sure I lost some of you guys. But I was always entertained. I was always like, if I listen to this guy, at least he's having a good time. I'll smoke a bowl of this. I'll smoke a J to this. Ja. Just drinking this kombucha like a red stripe. It's one of those health aid. It's not Gatorade. Health aid. Look how they swung it. But that's kind of like one of them. There's like two major kombucha mainstream joints. And this one is really good, I have to say. And even like drinking a whole one, I'll probably do this now because, I don't know, cannabis, in terms of like coffee and tea and caffeine and cannabis, it helps me podcast. But I like this one. And this one you can, I'll probably drink it. I'm already halfway through. Because I do think the black tea does wake me up. I can tell right now I got a little bit, surging. And that was already after one full Chemex of Cos Cafe, like this really dark coffee that's brilliant from a coffee shop. Let's see here. I'm trying to take this bass off. Hold on. And then I want the keyboard myself. I think I got it. I don't know about that beat. Well, I think it's missing. There we go. What? Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Oh yeah. Drinking kombucha every day after I have coffee every day. Okay, Rob, get serious now. Get serious. You can hit record on this thing and it does this looping thing. Let's stop fucking around. Let's get something funky. I still am amazed by this thing. sounds all right. All right. I gotta put some bass on there, right? I like that. Shout out to Kevin Corrigan again, man. I went and checked out. Kevin Corrigan had this really, I'm digging the bass though, had this really great art exhibit. Shout out to the Astoria Art Center. It's this little cute, cool space that's on the corner on the last stop in Astoria. They're hanging up works of art. You know, it all made sense when I was there. I was like, there's so many great artists in this area. And I guess Kevin Corrigan just put everything up, and they put it up for 2 weeks, and he had like all this work up there. And I have to say, it's just so much fun it is to smoke and go check out art. One of the cool things to do in the city. So shout out to Kevin Corrigan. Shout out to the Astoria Art Center. Great exhibit, great space, great people, great time. I popped up, I hung out. It was nice. And then I went and did a set in the Lower East Side. It was a lot for me. After that, and that was doing, I went like 3 different boroughs in one night. I'm grateful for the spots. I'm grateful for the friends. I'm grateful for the art. I'm grateful for the city. I'm grateful for this beat machine. Oh, yeah. I'm just grateful for everything. I'm just grateful. Now I sing. Shake 'em. Don't break 'em. Took your mama a whole time to make 'em, a whole long time to make 'em. Shake 'em, bake 'em. All right, I was gonna sing or do something. Sometimes it gets there, you know, the creative flow, and then I can start getting in my head. But you really have to like block it out. Get in the zone. Be what it's all about. Rhyming to this beat every day. Don't you know I'm in dismay? How it easily comes to me. Rapping to the beat so freshly. New, old, I don't know. Doesn't have mold. Just gets on. I got micro control. At least I'm trying. No, I got it every day. When I walk around in dismay, I'm living again and again. I'm seeing it, I can win. It's inside, it's always been inside. Make it outside, inside, outside. Every day, all day, every day. Put it together, what do I got to say? Nothing. Just bluffing. Oh, you gonna say something? This shit is fresh. It's beyond deaf. I'm just grateful for you listening, for you kissing. I don't know about that. But shout out to Kevin Corrigan. He has some great works of art from the band Kiss. I do need to watch On the Waterfront. I looked it up and I almost bought it. You know that decision, you're like, should I buy this? So I was gonna wait. But I know I have the time. But making time, you know. Especially like I don't want to complain about this podcast, but it is weekly. And that's why I do love doing the full video ones of just stockpiling. Like, I'm just learning I'm learning not to force this podcast, but also learning how to just keep it going and trying to make it just a little bit better every time I do it. Because it is such a fun space to drink coffee and space out to a funky beat. Played again, sounds kind of unique. Nobody's doing it, I'll do it again. Who knows, it might win. It's getting scheduled to 3. What do you think that's gonna be? Oh, they're gonna sell it like cabbage. Oh yeah, they're gonna wanna get on this pet. I get a lot of people asking to be on this podcast, and I'm trying to figure it out because there are a lot of like spaces even within the cannabis space, you know. But I always wanted to be just a little bit higher, in the sense of not having to rely on it, you know. And more about, you know, making the music and making the friends and having the freedom, so to speak, to smoke or be kind of smoked out while doing it, you know. I thought while traveling and meeting and hanging out, it would be fun because that's, you know, that's what I do. That's what I have been doing for you know, I started using cannabis in college, and after that, you know, I just kind of used it to not drink, and now it's gotten to the point where it's like I still, you know, could have a beer if I wanted to, but at the end of the day, yeah. And I also used cannabis as a way to get away from hard drugs, you know, and stay away from cocaine. There's a lot of cocaine out there, a lot of ketamine. All the kids are taking ketamine, and I mean, but there is a part of me that used to be very judgmental towards that, and I think it's just super hypocritical of myself to be judgmental. But at the same time, I could watch out when it's around. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems to just be out there more, and I just don't have time for it, man. I just want high quality, sun-grown cannabis. Have a safe space to do creative work. Keep pursuing stand-up, see where that heads me, you know. Get the rate up a little bit, get the exposure up a little bit. I enjoy doing it. And after, you know, the pandemic, I think I have appreciation for it more. So hopefully I'll be able to go to Nashville tomorrow. So that's kind of riding on my mind as well. It's been hard to meditate. Today I finally did 20 minutes, but it took me, you know, I definitely broke down a couple times. Like I could just tell where I am with my head. And usually it becomes like this space where it's busy and maybe it might be too much cannabis and coffee, and I'm not like it. A lot of it comes down to your gut and your sleep. That's what all these health things that we're all learning. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it's my age about, but I think everybody's I think it's just vast amount of information. I was talking to another comedian about this. It's just like, I think with all these podcasts and all this communication and TikToks and media, it's just like vast amount of communication, vast amount of information is getting processed by humans that is never like the level of access. I know we've always said that, but now it's just happening so fast. And then there's misdirects. That's why I find when I meditate, it's just such a luxury. Not to point it back to that, but It is just like the minute we wake up, it's just like videos on Instagram, videos on Facebook, the way we watch media, the way we absorb information. That I just find it, I just think it's going to go forward being all this awesome technology and AI, like the need for oneness and stillness and being in nature, which is ultimately where your mind is completely at peace. So I don't know. But I think that might be a part of it, I mean, I think a part of it's just not even talking about it. It's beyond. Whoa. Mental concepts. And it's more of a vibe, that's why they say vibe or whatever. What have I been vibing out to? Besides this beat? Bring that bass back. I've been just watching stuff on YouTube, maybe a little Grateful Dead. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, a lot of dub music, actually. A lot of reggae dub. Whoa. I thought I'd just change it up a little bit. I don't know about that one. Okay. Okay. I tried to do this one thing and it didn't do it. Okay. This might be something. I'm kind of liking that. Oh yeah, that's what I was like. Like whenever I try to get in my head about something, but I still want to be a harsh critic to my, I guess, art or the moment. But it was something about like perspective. Like a lot of things that people fear. It's just and it was like a picture of a garden hose. How a garden hose, when you looked like just a little bit different, it looked like a snake, and then you just looked at it again, and it looked like a garden hose. And a lot of stuff is like our fears are that like garden hose we think that is a snake. So I've been trying to keep that in concepts, and I find myself, on political videos, and then I really have been like, okay, I got to get off this. Like it started to absorb like my day a little bit. And not that, the pressure and the zen and all that, but it's like I'd rather be working on these beats than looking at political videos. But at the same time, I want the right people to be elected. But I don't know who the right people are. All I know is like I got to do me. It goes back to that whole thing. And try not to judge. And live. And when you're in the moment, there really is no real judge. It's just like what is and what is not. And what is this is a pretty funky beat. You can't deny that. Pre-programmed, but and then I slightly fucked with it. Added a couple things, the claps and shit. I those are my hand claps. I messed up the pitch. Where's the correct pitch? There's like a warm pitch where it makes me feel good, I like that. That's kind of happy. And that's the Pink Lady Apple Kombucha. Just shout out to all the pink ladies out there. Apple cider vinegar, I gotta give a shout out to that. I drink it every day. Thank God for that. I thought this would be more like that. I have to say, every time I take a shot of apple, it's just so dusty and hot in these New York buildings that apple cider vinegar, a shot of that in the morning feels like heaven sometimes. Feels like a shower. And then these health aid kombuchas, like, I could have gone another pot of coffee, but then I still had a lot of stuff to do. I still do. I got to figure out if I'm flying out to Nashville. But I'm also got to promote, everything is February 20th. The Cannabis Coffee Hour. They have some of those cannabis drinks. I'm going to try to get a sponsorship with them. But come to Young Ethel's. If you can hear this podcast, if you can hear this voice, this moment, come to Young Ethel's, February 20th. But at the same time, I am going to be working it out. So, if you don't come, it could, it's free. All right. So is this podcast before the Patreon starts. The least you could do is, I don't know, I'm not asking for that anymore. I'm just giving love. Love you.